At it again, and I've got to bring you this with Tucker Carlson because I think he says some things that are very, 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 very profound and important in this clip. I'm not going to show you the whole clip. It's over 30 minutes long. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new, and let's dive into what Tucker Carlson has to say.
If you've ever wondered why it's taken you so long to figure out what's happening now in American politics, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. It's hard for most Americans to comprehend the total dishonesty of American liberalism. Virtually nothing the liberal says is true. And the lies are not ordinary lies. The lies are so brazen, so aggressive and unending that it's difficult for a normal person to understand what's happening. 30 years ago, for example, liberals began to lecture us, softly at first and then in an increasingly high volume, about tolerance. How could you have known then that they planned, in fact, to usher in the most intolerant age in American history?
Facts.
They've done that now, but few people saw it coming. We shouldn't make the same mistake again. Liberals are now telling us they plan to protect American democracy, and that's the clearest possible sign that they intend to end it.
Yep.
13 months from this week, the United States will hold a national election. In a democracy, citizens can vote for the candidate of their choice. That's not just a feature, it's the defining fact of the electoral system. The people rule. They can send anyone they want to Washington because they're in charge. But this year, in the name of protecting democracy, liberals have decided to strip Donald Trump's name from the ballot in states across the country. Trump is the front runner in the presidential race. He's currently beating Joe Biden in the polls. Yet liberals have decided that you should not be allowed to elect him president. That's not democracy. It's the opposite. It's totalitarianism.
Bingo. That's one great point. There's more, of course. We're going to dive into that. But that's such a fantastic point. And it's something that I've kind of touched on a little bit in past videos. They try to blame Republicans for what they actually do. Or say Republicans are against, It's hard to explain. Like they try to confuse people. And like you said, their blatant lies have gotten so out of hand. Like it's easy to see that they are cornered at this point. They know it. Because in my humble opinion, they're telling blatant lies. I mean, just right in your face. Yeah, the sky is purple when you're looking at it and it's blue. It's just like, they're like, no, see, the thing about it is yada, 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 and it's purple. And you're like, no, it's not. I'm looking at it and it's blue. That's how blatant these lies have gotten. Now, that's just like a off the wall example, of course, I just made that up. But, it's stuff like that crazy where you're just like, did you really just say that? And the crazy part is some people are actually buying it. And I'm like, how in the world are you actually buying this crap? It's wild, man. We live in some wild times.
Just this morning, Donald Trump appeared in court in New York in a civil case brought by the state's attorney general that was designed explicitly to keep him out of the White House. That case is part of a larger legal barrage against Trump that so far includes a total of 91 felony counts, every one of them politically motivated. But today's civil case is especially absurd. In fact, it's hard to overstate its ridiculousness. In sum, Trump stands accused of inflating the value of collateral used to secure loans that he has already paid back with interest. In other words, there is no injured party in this case. The biggest banks in the world assessed the risk and they made a profit, as they almost always do. Not a single person was defrauded. For this non-crime, Trump and his children are in the process of losing their homes and their businesses. Here's MSNBC's live coverage of the hearing today. And as you watch, pay special attention to the judge in the case, Arthur Engoron.
And there you see President Trump, the former president, I should say, next to his attorney, and that's Chris Kise, who we expect to make the opening statements here. And then this,
Judge Engoron,
I guess, is Judge Engoron.
There he is, the judge.
Weird.
Mugging like he's on stage in a middle school play, grinning, preening for the camera. Arthur Engoron is thrilled to be on MSNBC. It's nauseating. This is not a legal proceeding. This is a grotesque parody of the system that our forefathers created, the fairest in the world, that in the years since has been seized by power worshippers like Arthur and Gorin. This is a dangerous moment. Without a legitimate legal system, people will no longer follow the law, and the country will collapse. This is not about Trump. This is about preserving the United States of America. But Trump is at the center of the story. And so today, for an overview of what exactly the strategy to prevent Trump from running for president and to end our current system, we turn to Victor Davis Hanson, who joins us now. Professor, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Tucker.
Before we get into the details of the legal assault on Trump, which in my view isn't really about Trump, tell us what you think is at stake here. What's the overview?
Well, I think they've come to the conclusion that Trump represented an existential threat, and by association, half the country did to their vision of what they want to transform us into. And so they feel that any means necessary are justified by their noble spiritual ends. And therefore, they call it critical legal theory. Just essentially, Tucker says, there's rules against stealing only because rich people don't steal, and therefore it's okay to steal. And modern monetary theory says print as much money, and eventually rich people will have to pay higher taxes or have their 401ks appropriated. Same thing with the border. Short term, everybody's mad at the border, but in dark rooms, they're saying to each other, in 10 years, everybody's going to appreciate what we did. We brought in 10 to 15 million new constituents. So, and I guess to put it all together, they feel that they're at a stage now where their agenda does not appeal to 51% of the people, and they either have to bring in new constituencies or change the system, the entire system of which we are acculturated to retain power, and that's what they're willing to do. And
most people are against a lot of this stuff that's going on currently, and they know it. That's why, in my humble opinion, all right, I'm just a guy that makes videos on the internet from time to time, okay? But in my opinion, that's why you see what's happening at the southern border. Oh, you guys don't agree with us? Okay. I bet they will. See what I mean? See what I mean? And when you allow that many people to come in, guess what happens? Our vote gets watered down, which therefore makes it almost irrelevant. Doesn't matter what we think. The alleged millions of people that have come across the southern border said that they agree with them, which makes the people that agree with them now the majority because of the people that they let across the border. And now we're in the minority because of the move that they made. And, you know, I recently saw a post about, I believe it was Lindsey Graham. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true or not. I haven't done the digging yet. Okay? I just want to put that disclaimer out there. I don't know if this is 100% true. Okay? Just putting the disclaimer. This is alleged. Allegedly, Lindsey Graham said, well, if you guys aren't willing to fund the conflict going on overseas, you're not going to get a secure border. Which on its face, I'm not surprised because it's Lindsey Graham. But it also makes me think, wow, you are really on their side, huh? Because those people coming across aren't going to vote for you. They're going to vote for a Democrat. That's, oh yeah, guys, come across. So of course they're going to vote for them. Now, I would hope that most of them are woke enough, you know, or awoke enough to realize the situation that they left is the situation that they're walking into if they vote for Democrats. I would hope that they're aware enough to realize that, and some of them are. But I just hope it's enough of them. Because you know what Democrats are going to do. They're going to try to get them the rights to vote. We already know that. I mean, you can see that from a country mile away. Now, whether or not they manage to pull it off is a different story. We shall see. But we already know they're going to try. So, what do you guys think? Let me know.
there's no such thing anymore as theft or lies or any of these things, because they're just constructs, and they're just anything that's useful to gain power is considered legitimate, and anything that's not useful is illegitimate, and that's how they define morality. And I think we're very naive, Tucker. We don't realize that we're in the middle of a revolution. We think that we're still playing within the same sidelines or parameters, and it's not. Everything's under negotiation, whether it's the Senate filibuster, the election.
But also, and that's why I keep saying that Trump has to play chess, not checkers. This is a different type of animal that we are up against. And it's crazy because, like, I'm just now diving into politics, and now I feel like things are going haywire. Like, stuff is just, like, hitting the fan the moment I hop into politics. It's like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. I'm still new to this. This stuff is going crazy, you know? Y'all let me know in the comment section, those of you that have been involved in politics and paying attention to politics a lot longer, have we had anything like this? Have you seen any moments in history like what we're in now, or similar? Maybe not to this extent, but similar to the moment that we're in now. Let me know in the comment section. I'd really be interested to hear. Maybe this is the first time ever something like this has ever happened, which is extremely scary. Maybe this is the third time, you know, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is run of the mill. We've been through this before. We'll get through it like we've gotten through it before. Y'all let me know. Let me know, please.
Electoral college, new states coming in, the size of the Supreme Court, voting IDs. We're in the middle of a cultural, economic, political revolution, and I think we got to wake up.
I mean, I suppose the danger is that if the average person decides that the system is illegitimate, it's not fair, it doesn't have any meaning beyond the political desires of the people administering it, then, you know, what prevents the average person from resorting to violence? In other words, if you have no power, if your vote means nothing, if the system is BS, then, you know, why don't you take up arms? Seriously.
Well, two things I think have precluded that so far. One is, I call it the monastery of the mind. A lot of people just say, you know what, I'm checking out. I don't want to watch the Oscars. I don't even know what the Tonys or Emmys are. I don't watch the NBA. I have nothing to do with Hollywood movies. I've just created my own reality. And the other is, under our federalist system, we're having millions of people. This is the greatest exodus diaspora we've ever seen in our history, where people are fleeing these blue states and blue cities to red states, and they feel that I'm going to recreate America as I once understood it without having anything to do. And so far, that's kept us sort of viable, but for them, that's not enough. It's never enough to have 2 million illegal entrants or 3 million. They got to have 8 or 9 or 10. It's not enough that Joe Biden is corrupt. It's not enough that he's non compos mentis. It's not enough that
allegedly
his agenda doesn't make sense. You've got to accept more and more of him. And I think they keep pushing the envelope, and these safety valves that I just mentioned, I don't know if they're going to be enough already. But right now, I think there's one last effort on the part of conservatives. They're going to say, you know what, we're going to speak up as we've never spoken up before.
Yep.
We're going to go after Target, we're going to go after Disney, and we're going to try to win this election. We're going to try to win the House. We're going to try to win the representative. We just have to unite behind, and we'll see if that works. I'm really afraid. Everybody says democracy's in danger, but I think if they feel that they have the majority of the people, and I think the majority of the people are against this progressive Jacobin agenda, and they still can't find power, then we're going to be in new territory. We're in new territory now. And so there are legitimate efforts to rectify and stop this madness, and let's see what happens in 2024. But I don't think it works anymore just to migrate to a red state or to drop out of the popular culture. You've got to get control of the political apparatus of the country through elections. And your worry is legitimate. If you can't do it through fair elections, then what do you do? So I think this election, I know everybody says that each election is paramount, but this one is very important because we're in the middle of a revolution, and it's our only avenue to a counter-revolution to return to normality.
Great point. And we'll end that clip there. Great point. I think the 2024 election is going to be huge. It's going to be massive. And right now, according to some polls, Trump is polling outside of the margin of error. Now, that doesn't mean we get lazy. That means we put the pedal to the metal. That means that we are winning. I don't know if you guys heard the story about the Trump mugshot beer. I can't remember the name of the beer. Maybe Ultra MAGA or something is the name of the beer, but they sold millions upon millions of dollars worth of beer with Trump's mugshot on it. Obviously, we know the story of Bud Light. We heard about Target, right? All of these different situations and circumstances, no matter what the media says or tries to push to us and the establishment tries to push to us, the results speak for themselves. The results speak for themselves. And not only that, now we have ousted the rhino speaker of the House. I think this movement is a movement that isn't going to, sit on the sideline quietly like the establishment wants. I think this movement is I can't remember the Democrat lady's name, the black lady. I think she was a Democrat strategist. This is a movement the likes of which we've never seen before. Which this is absolutely incredible. The time that I jump into politics, everything's going haywire. We have a movement the likes of which we've never seen before. Like this is must-see TV. Like you couldn't have wrote a better script than that. Like it's crazy. But all seriousness, I think I saw something. I can't remember if it was a video or if I read it, but right now Trump is polling so well that not only is he outside the margin of error, but he's also allegedly outside the margin of, you know what. Can't say it, okay? Read between the lines there. He's outside that margin. So I think you're going to see, and like I've stated before, and we are seeing it, you're going to see a lot of things go haywire. You're going to see a lot of things that are like, wait, what? Like head scratchers and oh my goodness, what in the world is that? And I feel like we're already beginning to see that. I mean, you have Republicans calling the 8 Republicans who voted to kick out McCarthy traitors. And it's like, wait a minute, how? How are they traitors? You have the House booing Matt Gaetz when he talks about them being I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this. Kissing the behinds of the big donors, right? Which we all know it allegedly happens, right? Allegedly. Got to say that, right? Got to legally be clear, okay? Because I know some of you guys ask, why do you say allegedly all the time? Because I kind of have to, all right? But they were all booing, and it's like, we all kind of know, like, what's happening, like, just own up to it. But of course, they'll never do that. And things are going to get a lot worse. You're going to see a whole lot worse things. I mean, even Democrat voters are yelling at who they voted for and extremely angry. So when you have even Democrats, doing that, and some Democrats have even said, hey, yeah, I'm voting for Trump. In my comment section, right? In my comment section, I've seen that. So I think we're winning, and I believe we're going to win. It's going to be rocky. The establishment is not going to go quietly. It's going to go down yelling and screaming like a banshee, right? It's going to be scary. There's going to be some kind of scary moment or something scary that happens or something to rock the boat. I fully expect all of that to happen, and so should you. And rightfully so. As I've stated before, if you were in their position, wouldn't you? If you had done the things that they did and saw the direction that this country was going and Uncle Trump was about to step back in office and you knew what was going to happen when he got back in office to you, wouldn't you scream and yell? Absolutely. You do everything possible to make sure that he didn't. So all of this is par for the course as far as I'm concerned. Hold tight. Hold the line. We're winning. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love, family. I'm out.